know damn well I wanna make love to you. Wanna make love, honey. Oh, do you? Oh, yes, you. Seducing me with those eyes, baby. The street filled with fog. I light a cigarette and play it all cool. But you know damn well, honey. You know damn well I wanna make love to you. I wanna make love, honey. Make love, honey, oh, to you. Ooh, yes, you. Make love, honey, wanna make love, oh, to you. Oh, yes, you. Seducing me with those eyes, baby. The streets filled with fog. I light a cigarette and get off. But you know damn well, honey, I wanna make love to you. Wanna make love, make love. Make love, honey, to you. Oh, yes, you. Seducing me with those eyes, baby. The streets filled with fog, not a cigarette. Damn well, honey, I wanna make love to you. I wanna make love, honey, to you. Oh, yes, you. But you know damn well, honey, oh, you know damn well I wanna make love to you. I wanna make love, honey, to you. Yes, you. I wanna make love, honey, to you.
Shalom, boys and girls and bald-headed squirrels. You're hanging out with your friendly neighborhood creepy girl, DJ. I typically host Walking in the Dark on WDIDO radio, but in light of the recent death and destruction on planet Earth, due to the Wu flu, I thought I'd toss a little something extra your way to make those smiles shine bright. So welcome to the first episode of Merely More Meandering, which will basically be random bits of extra happiness for all of my Walking in the Dark listeners. Today I'm here with Soupcan and The Spaceman, and they're going to give us some fantastical musical jams and tell us some insight into their brilliant minds, which I'm totally geeked for. Would you boys like to introduce yourselves before shit gets real weird?
My name is Soupcan. I play guitar and sometimes sing.
Sometimes sing? Cool.
You know.
Boy, sarcasm is so awesome when you can't see someone's face. What about you?
I guess that makes me Spaceman. I'm the other half. Hopefully the better half. I doubt that. I'm not the better half.
My name's Soupcan. I'm about 50%.
about half of this here.
I'm 2/3 Soupcan and or Spaceman. Yeah, no, I'm Spaceman, and I am the other half. I mean, basically, when it's a band like us, it's kind of hard to say what we do because we take on different roles with each album or each song. So, I'm just in it for the ride.
Okay, so there's 2 of you in total in the group because you said 50%, and you're both here. So we got Soupcan and Spaceman.
Actually, there is a third member who does appear, mainly in pictures, but if you listen to the background of our stuff, his name is Dr. Frankenstein, and he is a Sphinx cat that somehow found its way into the household.
Just snuck up in there, huh?
Just completely showed up one day, started jamming out some stuff, and we take a lot of credit for the stuff he writes. So
Yeah.
I hear those cats are really geniuses, though. So you should consider yourself to be lucky about that. They're stinking cute, too. They kind of look like weird, like sea creatures that got dehydrated and put on land. I don't know. But they're cute, and they feel good. I hear they're really affectionate, too. I have one. Same one. Haha. We're going to pretend like we don't know each other, I guess. But that ain't how it is. But we know that. How long have you two been
cut all
doing
that.
music separately
So that.
and together?
So that again.
So basically, just I want to know, both of you, how long you've been doing it separately, music stuff, anything. How long you've been doing it together, and when did you start doing it together?
Am I going first? Or you going?
What?
So I know for me,
We'll cut that out.
I know for me, my brother was always in bands and always playing music, and I always wanted to be a part of that. And he was 17 years older than me, so kind of when he was moving out of the house and getting his thing going, you know, I was just a kid getting into all that stuff. So I always wanted to get into music because of that, and as it went on, I just started making my own bands, my own music and stuff. So I've been at it ever since I was a kid. I don't know how much better I've gotten talent-wise at it, but yeah, it's kind of where I came from with the music.
Well, I think you're certainly easy on the ears together.
Go
From what I've heard so far, but that's going to be super impactful, your brother doing that at that time, because we all know when we're teenagers, we can't wait to grow up and get out. If your brother was very musically entertained and he enjoyed that, like, as a hobby, as it was back then, like, you know, in the 90s, like, that was kind of a thing that had to make a big difference on what you thought was cool, because he was like, oh, and you were looking up to him.
Well, he was
Like
he
the
was,
perfect age difference, where it's like, what's
Oh
your
yeah,
difference?
everything he was doing, everything he was listening to, he was, you know, back when I was growing up, it was like MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice. Those were the cool bands, and it was a sad time in the early '90s. And he was listening to like Rush and Kiss and you know, all this rock stuff, and he kind of pulled me into that world. And I always looked up to my brother because I just thought he was the coolest. But you know, when you get older, that perspective changes because.
No, your brother's dope. Carrie's legit.
He's
Don't
got some
argue.
moments.
It's true. We all got
But,
we got our shit though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but
we
that-
all got bad stuff.
But that's what started me on the path to music, so, or the road to ruin, as some would call it.
Oh my gosh, that's so definite and negative.
Soupy,
Anyways,
what about you?
over there?
Can you repeat the question?
Sunglasses at
If,
night, so I
if
can.
you
I'd
had
like to know
3
how long
wishes-
you've been.
Oh.
Excuse me. This is my show. You'll keep your friendly banter between your bandmate to yourself. It may not be safe for the show. Thank you. How long have you been doing music by yourself, and how long you guys have been doing it together? So I'm really looking for by yourself because we started talking about Carrie, and then together. So how long did you make music, Hunter? And what took you there?
I don't know. I've always
I'm
kind of
thinking.
been interested in music. I've only played since I was 15. When I was 15, I started writing and playing guitar. Mostly.
You can't swear, Hunter.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Yes, you
swear.
can. My stuff is like not safe for work, and it's all tagged for
Oh,
my
yeah.
language because that's the worst thing you're gonna hear is cuss words or body parts.
I don't know. I've always,
People
have
say
been
things.
infatuated with music. I think it's kind of the same story almost. My brother was like in a band and wanted to be in a band, and so kind of pushed to get better at playing, so I could be in a band. And then where I'm from, there's not a whole lot of musicians that are in my age group, and so I just started like kind of playing acoustic by myself and writing. And then I got really into writing about like 5 years ago, and then I started like really trying to like write songs, like focusing on writing, and then kind of went nowhere. I would record a lot on my phone and just not really post it.
I mean, I guess it depends on where your definition of going places is. If your definition of going places is suddenly being Kim Kardashian, then you went nowhere. But if you
Well-
learn how to play guitar better, then you definitely succeeded because you guys sound great together, I would say.
Yeah.
So what happened 5 years
But-
ago that made you focus on songwriting?
I didn't post or anything, so I didn't I wasn't trying to like go places because I was from such a small town. Anyways, point being, I lived with I had a roommate who was an Instagram poet, and actually, no, it was probably before that because it was 2008 when I started listening to Anthony. Now that I think about it, he got me into like writing, just listening to his songs and stuff. And then when I moved in with my poet friend, I kind of learned a lot from him just by being around him. And then I don't know, that's when I started like really getting into it, I guess.
Cool. Happy that inspiration happened for you. You guys seem to work well together and be productive and enhance parts of one another that you didn't even know about to make this work and sound the way it does, because it's great. How long have you been doing this together, Soupcan and The Spaceman?
About like a year and a month.
Wow,
Yep.
that's incredible. That's really, that's something that makes you go, wow, like shit.
Yeah, a year.
You
has
guys
passed.
Yeah, you guys sound great. A lot of people that have been doing music for way longer than you have don't have the good sound that you do.
I think people right off the bat tend to go, oh, we're this kind of band. We want to do this kind of music. And so in doing that, they limit themselves. And so their output probably isn't near what our output has been the past year, because we went into this going, what do you want to do? I don't know, this weekend let's do a funk song, or let's do a disco song, or let's do a hip-hop song, or whatever. And it was always, because of that, we just kind of kept recording and recording, trying different styles, so we accumulated quite a few songs over this past year. And I think the thing with most bands when they start out is they're trying to be a certain sound right off the bat, and we weren't. We were just having fun with it and screwing around and kind of going, hey, that sounds good, we should keep that one, or oh, that one didn't work out too well, maybe we should throw it in one pile. And
I can see how that could be really detrimental to put yourself into a cookie cutter situation when you don't even know what you're going to be good at. Like, you haven't even tried anything, so how do you know that's what you want to do? And then you waste time just trying to fit places that you may not even necessarily belong.
Especially coming, like, I don't know, our styles when coming in together were like completely different. He was more into electronic music, and I think most of my life I thought electronic music was like yeah, it sounded cool with like bands like the Styx and like I don't know, like Modest Mouse when they would use it, and like the big names like Dead Mouse, He was cool. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot, but it sounds cool when musicians put it into their stuff. But I just thought it was like as a using it as an instrument, like only instrument was kind of cheating. And then I guess when we got with Vince, when I got with Vince, stop talking other personalities.
Oh, zoinks, Reggie. Oh, he's being good. Our co-host is here with us, Tiberius. He's being a good boy back there.
Yeah, but when I got with Vince, he kind of took the spin that like I've always enjoyed, and of what I've done, because I've just been playing acoustic in my room for the past like 15 or not 15, 20. Can't do math. 10 years.
If you got to take your shoes off to count, like that's okay. That's not cheating.
It's all right. Well, that's cool. That's good to know about how you guys influence each other and enhance one another. Like, you brought in one style and you were doing something different, and now you're combining both of your sounds together.
Oh, one thing I could definitely say for Soupy is I know a lot of times I'll come at him with some tracks, very electronic or very kind of Devo-ish or new wave sounding, and it's all electronic built. And he'll go, I don't know what to do, and I just say, ground me. Whatever I'm doing in this, bring it back down to earth. And he's always been good about that. On our EP, there's an instrumental track called That One Song We Did That One Place That One Time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I used that.
And that came from me just going, hey, play something acoustic, and I just put a basic beat to it, electronic beat to it, and then he was doing acoustic and clean guitar stuff to it, and then I just added the electronic elements, so it became a marriage of the two styles. But he always has a way of bringing me back down to earth when I start getting really out there, especially because on latter stuff we've been doing, there's been I have a tendency to keep overdubbing and layering, just putting all these elements into the song, and he really brought me back down to keeping it simple and not doing as many overdubs, which saves me the headache of a lot of mixing time. So
Yeah, it's
I'm the
pretty
lazy
incredible
one.
how you bring the blanket details, like the overall picture. Like, we're going to have 5,000 layers of orchestra and synthesizers, and it's going to sound generally like blah, blah, blah. And then he comes in with the finer details that take more attention and, like, add that extra layer of, like
Like a fine
detail to the song that makes it really special. It's kind of neat how that happens between the two of you so seamlessly.
Yep.
yeah, and one thing I pushed with him was I think I said, like, right off the bat, you're the front man, you're the singer, which was a big step back for me because I had been so used to doing it. But I felt with this type of thing, I really feel like Soupy's got a great voice, he's got a great look to him, he's got a great overall presence that's really been showing more and more as we've been doing this, and I really wanted to kind of push him to the front and just kind of like Will Gregory from Goldfrapp, how Alison Goldfrapp goes out and she's the main face of it, but he does a lot of the programming and builds a lot of the tracks in the studio and stuff. I felt that was kind of where I should focus my energies on it.
Yeah. It's,
That's neat.
but
Very selfless of you. How do you feel about that, Hunter? Do you like being the front man and
No.
the sound? No, you don't?
No.
Are you serious?
yeah.
Wow,
that's
why?
I don't know. I guess like over years, because I used to be like real funny and like, well, I like when I was like 4, like to be like in front of people and make them laugh, and then, but it's like I'm never being serious, and I feel like when I started playing music, it was like more serious, so I didn't want to be judged harshly on it, because it was like, it could always be better. kind of a philosophy I've had with everything, basically. You know, can always be better. Unfortunately, I can't hide, you know, everything from whoever in life. So, you know, they have to see my not as good as it could be performance. But like with art, it was like, I don't want someone to say I suck because, I don't know, it doesn't even like bother me to hear people say, oh, you suck. It's like, yeah, I know. And, but it's like the fear, like, is so overwhelming inside. It's like, it's hard to, like, control. I don't know. It sounds weird, I guess. It's just, I don't know. I just don't like to be, hey, look at me. I don't like to be an attention hog, I guess.
Well, if no one sees you, no one can reject you, and no one can make you feel bad about doing the one thing you love, which is clearly this music that you guys are doing together. Would you say that's probably your biggest like musical challenge together, is working together on when to put things out there, or what would you say is your biggest like difficulty together that you've had to learn how to deal with?
Difficulty with each other, or like the process as a whole?
I don't care. I mean, just difficulty as a unit.
I don't
like,
give a rat's ass.
no, I mean I do. It's just
No.
I'm giving you a little umbrella, and
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
dance underneath it how you want
Yeah.
to. Like I really don't care.
I don't feel like we've had like horrible like disagreements when it comes to like music, or even like personality wise. I feel like we kind of flow really well together. The only difficulty I can think of is like, and it goes for both of us, is like being better at like social media and like advertising and promotion. It's like, I hate it like so much, being on my phone like constantly, and then
It does eat up a lot of time when you have something that you need to get ears plugged into, or something that you need eyes on, because you have to that's a sacrifice you have to make for so long until you reach a certain point, and it can start to feed itself. It's like a faceless monster almost.
Yeah,
that
but it takes it's super difficult because it takes so much of your time. It's like when you're trying to write and work, you know, a 40-hour week job, and then like have to like promote, and then you have to eat.
And
yeah,
sleep.
right now especially.
and sleep.
Sometimes
It's like,
sleep.
Right, and sleep, and
it's
be
like,
a normal
and
human.
you have to like write and be a normal
produce,
human. And
produce, go do these
so
things.
it's the difficulty is just like spreading yourself so thin that you don't make the people around you like worried about you, or like be mad because you don't talk to them, but you also want to have like put all the, you know, creativity like go into it. And it's like definitely having supportive people around you is, makes it a lot easier on me, because
Yeah, because that's less energy you have to put into unnecessary bullshit, because people got feelings that they think are valid just because they thought of them. I guess that your answer kind of answers my next question then, which was...
well, I mean,
Well, he was kind of like agreeing with you, like, yeah, I would say...
Yeah, I think the hardest part, and we've discussed this several times, the hardest part for us right now is getting this thing up and moving beyond the writing. Like, during the last year we were together, we wrote so much, and there's so much sitting in there, like, that might just need a few tweaks to be finished. And as we go throughout the year releasing singles, that's what we're going to do. But I think the hardest part has been, all right, you get 2 days off, and it's just full tilt boogie, nonstop go.
Yeah.
And so it's like for 48 hours, we're just hitting it and just going. And sometimes you might not be in the mood to really work on music, or might not be in the mood to work on
Right.
social
But
media,
you got
or
to cram
things
it
like
in
that.
there, because you only get this little bitty
Window of time.
short window, yeah.
that's what I'll say that's really good about Vince, and I've like really respected it, because no matter what he feels like, it's like, I'm gonna get in there and like push something out. And for me, it's like, there's, I mean, I guess you could say I'm the lazy one because like there's more like more weeks than not as of lately for sure that I've just been like I don't have anything like it's like
Well,
there's
this thing-
no like
Creativity always comes in seasons for anyone that has it that's worth anything. Anyone that doesn't say that that's true, I'm sure you could ask your friend that you used to roommate with this. Like, there will be fruitful times and there will be very dry times. And you just have to make sure that when it's fruitful, that you reap as much as you can, which clearly you guys have because he just said you have this massive reserve, like the Falls Federal Reserve, full of actual bountiful sound bits that can be harvested and released as singles.
Sure.
So that's good. That
Yeah.
you guys at least had the forethought to do that.
Well, yeah, I think we just kept writing and writing and putting it out, and I wouldn't say Hunter's been lazy at all about it. I think my method of working through things and his are a little different. He'll let something come more organically, whereas I'll sit in there with like electrodes trying to shock something to life. That may just be a little 4-bar melody or something like that. I will find a way to make that into something, just out of I guess pure stubbornness of like, damn it, I'm gonna make this work.
Well, you
know,
don't want to
I-
waste anything, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you can look
No.
at it as a waste of resource, but you did learn something at least in that process. Even if you don't keep the
Sure.
4-bit like bar bit,
Right,
you still
sure.
like.
But I think
And-
sometimes it's like you look at maybe a session we do and it's like, well, Vince did all this and maybe Hunter didn't do as much, but there will be some weekends where he'll be writing 20, 30 things and I'm just sitting here getting frustrated. And I think something we've kind of learned somewhat recently, at least I have, has been to stop pushing myself to the point of I'm so burned out of trying to mix or write or do something. I'll actually, when I start feeling that way, step away and go read, which has been one of my New Year's resolutions this year, has been to read more. So I'll step away and go read for a little bit, or just take a break, and Hunter will jump in and start. You know, he's laid all these little bits of foundation. It's just taking the time to get in there and start building on that.
yeah, it's
But I
probably
think
our
that's
specialty. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, but I do think that's been the biggest challenge out of all of this has been, all right, you get 48 hours to do something, whether you feel it or not, and the rest of the week you've got to eat, sleep, work, walk the dog, clean the baby, go, do this, or, things like that. And I think if this was more of our 9 to 5, and we've had this conversation several times, if this was our 9 to 5, then there wouldn't be that push, there wouldn't be that burnout, and I think maybe we would have a different approach to it. But yeah, that's been the biggest challenge. So.
Would you say that would be the dream use of your music together? Would just be to this be your source of income and survival?
Yeah,
For sure.
I feel like I mean.
That's cool. I
It's
think
never
that's great.
been like a dream,
Oh,
going back to being center of attention, to be like, a pop star. But like, it's been like a dream to do something that I can't stand not to do and also make a living off of it.
That's great. I think that's a good goal to have. They say that if you do something that you like, you'll never work a day in your life. And I find that the older I get, the more that I find that's true to be. Definitely as things progress the way they have been the last decade. Would you say that there's any way that this has affected your not-musical life together? This little shindig that you've been finding yourself in for a year and some change?
Yeah,
Soupy and spicy?
I feel like it's given me friends, and it's given me like something to do besides like sleep on the weekends and
Right. Give you something to be productive
Because
and
we
feel good
definitely
about,
don't
too.
sleep.
Yeah, you don't. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's definitely having to come at this from a different approach of utilizing what makes the Vincent Todd sound in my solo stuff, and then coming into this going, how can I do things differently, or how can I look at it differently but still incorporate those parts of me, has been something that I've had to work with, but it's made me, on my time not working with the band, look at different resources or different outlets. I know I definitely spend a lot more time now researching recording techniques, or how to get certain sounds, or how certain bands did certain things to apply it to what we do. Whereas, I mean, I was playing, was it Marvel Contest of Champions or whatever all the
video
time.
games,
Or,
the time sink. We don't talk about those anymore. I've been clean for 2 weeks now, going on 3 in just a few days. How do you think that the digital age has affected yourselves, like musicians early coming up and those that are like you? I mean, other than obviously the physical, you don't go out and really distribute like records or hard copies. You give codes and business cards now, and you solicit attention through social media, but do you think any other way other than that has affected you guys?
Me personally, I can't speak for Vince or Spaceman, excuse me. But like, I don't know, I wasn't in a band and like trying to do shows and like sell like things with like CDs and stuff. I mean, I grew up in the CD era, in the very end of the cassette era, but like this is all kind of this experience is really new to me, and this like new age stuff is new to me, only because of the reason that, of course, it's almost brand new, but this is like basically the only way to get music now. It's not CDs and cassettes or CDs and Spotify. It's streaming.
Yeah, it's all that digital sound that you can pick up from anywhere you want. Isn't that incredible to think about that, though? Like the access that we have.
Yeah, it all started with Napster.
Those were the days.
And, yeah, so, yes, it is difficult, because you only get like 0.05 cents for every stream you do. So like,
Right.
in order to get like a full like minimum wage for a year, you'd have to have 10,000 plays every single year, or every
Such
single
a
day.
trade-off.
yeah.
You think about how it used to be, you would have very few people that would get it, and they would get a big slice of the pie, and it would be easier. But now anybody can do it, so they got to make the slices of the pie. It's like,
Yeah, so that's the
because
positive
anybody and their
side of
mama
it,
can do
'cause
it.
Everyone
Yeah.
can do it, but
It's harder to make
and the
that
negative
dough.
side, because everything's bittersweet.
Very true.
Everyone's doing music now, and so you have to be very strategic and creative, not only with your creation, but how you promote to kind of stand out, and how you sound to stand out. But yeah.
No, I think the whole digital age has really changed things and made it an era of do-it-yourself bands, because it's all there if you're willing to put in the time and the effort to promoting it and to getting it out there.
Right.
You don't need to wait on some big label to
Call
sign you.
Hey, we got a gig for you. Come on down and record this label thing.
Right. Whereas
We'll book even 15 festivals. You can be like Billie Eilish and record an album with your brother and become the world's youngest Grammy winner or something like that. Whatever the music award is. I guess I should know that if I'm talking to musicians, but
no, it is
possible.
like Soupy said, a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, it's easier to get your stuff out there, but it's harder to get people to. It's harder to stand out because there's such an influx. Because home studios are like virtually everywhere now, from your weekend warriors to your people really serious to even your signed artists. They can all do it from home. And not spend all this money going out to a studio, whereas back in the day, that was the only way you'd get a recording done that was even worth a damn. Now it's not so much about radio play, it's streams, it's getting on internet and getting out that way, whereas back when I was doing this in high school, in the early 2000s, it was still play gigs, get your stuff out to radio stations.
Yeah.
Now that's all, not all by the wayside, but it's slowly going that way. And
That's a hard transition for those of us that are pre-internet kids that remember how you used to do things, and now you have to not only accept how things are so drastically different, but learn these ropes completely different over your old skills that you have to kind of get rid of. And who the crap knows how to do that? Like these kids that are born after the internet or even remotely close to that, all they've known is how to do that. So they don't know how to.
And I think about too, like just in the year we've been together, and we put out low fidelity or lo-fi, depending on your streaming source. We put out our EP, and we've released a couple of singles since, and they've gotten some play, and we've sold a little bit, and things like that. Just in the time the two of us have been together doing this, I've already done more than I have with previous bands or my solo stuff. We were able to already reach people and already make some sales and things and connect with people across the world in this short amount of time. It's
Congratulations.
great.
That's a big accomplishment to have together. I'm happy that you get to have that. You seem like real stand-up fellas. Do you have a process that you go through when you write songs together? Like the one you played, like Come On Over. Like, how did that work? Is it always the same or is it different?
So basically, I sleep on the couch while Vince writes.
So he gives you like the bones,
Get
like
in the booth now, and I'm
he
like,
writes the
"All right."
lyrics or he writes the sounds.
Everything.
If you have a process that you go through when you write songs, like Come On Over or some of the other ones that you've played tonight, and what is that process like?
I think it varies. Like honestly, it's like Spaceman said earlier. Sometimes he'll have something because he's doing all like the creativity because I'm not feeling it, and then other weeks it's like he's not feeling it, and I'm just like knee deep in the stuff. So personally, when I write something, it's like. It varies too. Sometimes I'll write to like 3 chords that I come up with, or I'll just write like something in my phone or in a notebook, and by the grace of Poseidon,
It's my pull out.
Vince will like come up with something, and it almost works like.
It does work. You guys sound great. So you guys just sound like you kind of just get together and create and then go somewhere. Like you'll come up with some little like 4-bit thing or 4-bar things like you said, and then you'll be like, well, I hammered this out 2 weeks ago. Let's see what this sounds like together. And then you bring it together, and then you get tracks like this next one that you're getting ready to play here for us. I can't wait to hear it. I know the listeners can't either.
Yeah, so this one that we're about to do live, it's Come On Over. It was a song I wrote with, not with anybody. Stop personalities. Go back in.
Skirt! Take 2 again. Waka waka.
I wrote a few years before that I actually met Vince, and I think it was the first one I played for you. No, maybe
Long Ride. Long Ride
was the first one I played. It was one of the first one. It was the first one we recorded together.
No, that was Long Ride.
Oh, you guys gonna play that one for us?
Yeah, we can do. But
Sure. First one that we recorded and released together.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I think when he had it, there were some lines towards the end of the second verse he was unsure about, and I threw him just some stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, I like that." And for the choruses in it, because we both come from like punk rock music, a deep love of it. Mm-hmm. I thought of doing the "I See It in You" as like a crowd thing. Have like the audience like do it with you, and so we approached it that way when we did the recording, and It was really fun to do, especially this little hole in the wall apartment we were all living in, and
Yeah, that's pretty
and
remarkable
getting to do it.
make something
Yeah.
so like powerful and riveting that all your audience members can mostly relate to,
But
and then
but
rally with it.
yeah, it's I mean, there's stuff like Human Again that I had a good chunk of, and then Hunter gave me some lines for it, and
Same exact process.
yeah, almost, and it really does vary song to song. There's stuff it's 90% him, 10% me, some stuff 50-50, some stuff. One of the newer ones we did, What I'm Waiting For, had it was pretty much just a writing session. We were in here working on stuff, and he helped, even though I wrote a lot of it, he helped guide where it went. And I think that's equally as important when you talk about the writing process, because when you start with a song, it can go anywhere. And if you have kind of parameters and someone kind of guiding you down that trail, like, well, okay, you were going here, and there was stuff I was going to cut out and just be like, this, I don't like that line, and he'd stop me and be like, no, that's one of the best lines in it, or that's one of the best parts of it, don't change that. And so it's always been helpful and appreciated whenever he throws me suggestions. So
I think that's been like a building thing for our relationship. It's like we're so passionate about doing music. It's like we're like almost forced to be like honest with each other, because it's like, yeah, that's good, but like try this, and like we're both very open-minded, so we're like, okay, we'll try it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and if it does, it's like, fuck yeah.
Right, you
Yeah.
tried it. You know what? You didn't restrict anything. You can look back and think, man, I should have tried that weird thing last weekend. I bet that little crocodile acoustic thing would have been dope at that silent park. Fuck.
It's a crocodile acoustic.
What crocodile acoustic?
That's a
I don't know.
that's a purr. It's more of a-
I can't do it. There's like those little instruments that like, there's like a billion percussion instruments that make those weird sounds. I don't know what the hell they're called. Suck my whole dick. Do you have anything else you want to add to the show? Because that's like kind of the last question. I had like a little fun like game we could play where we press the middle button on the phone and then you guys have to turn it into a song, and it's going to be silly, but we don't have to do that. And then if you have anything you want to add, now would be the time to do that. Because that's my last question for you boys.
So you can find all of our music on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube,
all the main
Bandcamp.
sources. Yeah.
Cool.
We have Instagram, Soupcan and the Spaceman Band. We have a Facebook page,
Twitter.
Soupcan and the Spaceman.
Yeah, I mean, we're the only ones who are really with that name. So if you just search it, we'll come up. Soupcan,
Cool.
all one word. And but yeah, we're
I'll link those in the description. All of the ways that people can find you on social media, Bandcamp, contact, all of those shenanigans will be in the description where this recording is posted for listeners to find.
Yeah,
It's been-
and also want to make it clear that we're not just like a rock band, like we said earlier in the podcast, that we'll do, like, we basically have a song for everyone, and if it's not out right now, continue to follow us, because it might be out next week, or
Right.
if someone emailed us and was like, hey, try, I think you guys would sound good doing this. We would even try that. We've had co-workers say that, try this, try doing a cover version of this, and like we'll
Get
hash
it
one
out,
out
yeah.
and put it on SoundCloud.
see how it comes across. And I think, yeah, I think that's the key, is we're not trying to limit ourselves. And like my two biggest influences have been Prince and Bowie, and any album you pick up by them, you're gonna get a whole bunch of different sounds from that, and I think that's what kept them relevant, and that's what kept them interesting. Was it wasn't like, and I'm not knocking AC/DC, but when you get an AC/DC album, you know what you're gonna get. It's
Right.
going to sound like every AC/DC album, and to some degree, that's awesome. That's really cool. I know sometimes I appreciate that familiarity with an album or a band, but I think that the stuff I always keep going back to is I'm always so interested when a band like Modest Mouse or Bowie or artists like that put out something. It's always been like, what's it gonna sound like? What's this, and track to track it's different. And I think we've been pretty good about that. Sometimes we'll put out a couple things in that vein, and but we always kind of keep jumping around, genre jumping, and I think that's like Soupy said, if you don't hear us doing a sound just yet that you like, just keep with it, keep following us, and
It keeps the spice in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah, boys. We love that spice, don't we?
You guys have been a hoot to hang out with and listen to tonight.
Where
Thank you.
we don't ever
And-
hang out with anybody but dogs and cats.
We've really got to work on you being so negative, Sweet Pea. I mean, you're funny as hell, but your shadow is so big over yourself. You got to get over that. Put into the bedroom. It's going to go, okay?
Spider-Man.
the whip.
Whip.
The whip.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I would probably cut it right
We
there.
love LGBT.
Because then I'll be like,
community.
thanks for tuning in and listening and hanging out with us tonight. Be sure to check out the links in the descriptions for how you can get in contact and follow these two shenanigan causing hoot nannies.
Yeah.
And,
Stay weird. Be creative.
yeah, don't let that fire go out. It's hard times right now. We all got to get through it together, though, or there ain't going to be shit left afterwards. So, see you guys next time.
This is Cash the Baptist.
Yeah! Hit that shit before he says some word. Look at how big that yeah was. Hit it.
Come on over and stay the night. I'll keep a secret. You can go before daylight. It might you'll get away from the things that you love. I guess we all self-medicate. 'Cause baby, I am your drug. Oh baby, I am your drug. 'Cause I see it in you that you want to stay. I see it in you that you want to stay. And I see it in you that you want to stay. And I see it in you that you want to stay. That you want to. precious to make sure I'm not dead. I can hear you calling out my name. Light up cigarette and press it to my lips while it all goes back and forth in my mind. On this long ride, on this long ride, this long ride, on this long, long ride. Every time.
There's the third member.